Let's continue with the 5th chapter from your History and Civics book of grade 6, and the name of the chapter is the Early Vedic Civilization. So let us continue from the social life. Family life. The Aryans lived in villages. Each village was composed of a number of joint families. Okay, you have to remember this. They were having joint families. The head of the family was the Grihapati. Okay, who was the Grihapati? The head of the family. The eldest living male member, not the female, okay, male member. His decision was final and it had to be followed by all the other members in the family. What kind of position did the woman enjoy in the early Vedic period? Women enjoyed an important position in society. Monogamy. Monogamy was the usual practice. Monogamy means they were allowed to marry only once. Okay, this is monogamy. That means women were given opportunities for education. Women scholars are believed to have composed some of the Rig Vedic hymns. No religious ceremony could be performed unless the woman was present. Women could choose their husband in a ceremony called Swamvar. There was no child marriage and widows were allowed to remarry. What kind of food they were having? The Aryans ate simple and nutritious food. They were not having any kind of junk food like us. Okay. So wheat, fruits, vegetables, barley, maize, all those were the staple food. Staple means the main food. Like we have rice. Rice is the staple food of West Bengal. So they were fond of honey and milk products. They were having milk products, honey, all this were they having. So what is the meaning of milk products? Milk product means the products or the items which is made with milk. Like curd, sweet, okay, butter, cheese, all these are coming under the milk products. They were fond of honey and intoxicating drinks like soma and sura. Meat was also eaten occasionally, like us only, right? But women were enjoying much more liberal position in the early Vedic period. But later on it will change slowly. Recreation. The Aryans were fond of outdoor activities. They enjoyed chariot racing. Chariot means you have seen might be like a horse used to pull a chariot. Okay, there will be a horse will be pulling a cart, and in that cart there will be a place for sitting, and there will be umbrella for shade also. Okay, it can be for one person or 4-5 persons together can also sit in that. That is chariot. You will often find Lord Krishna's picture in the chariot. Okay, and they enjoyed chariot racing and hunting. They also liked music, dance, indoor activities or indoor games like dice. Dice means when we play Ludo, we find that dice, right? A square kind of a cube is there, and on that there is 1, 2, 4 up till 6 it is marked, right? That is a dice. And board games were popular too. What kind of dresses they used to wear? The dress of the Aryans consisted of 2 garments. The lower garment was the unstitched, okay, it was not stitched, unstitched piece of cloth like a dhoti tied around the waist. The upper garment consisted of a light means lightweight, okay, light shawl, a turban, okay, a turban like headgear means whatever we put in our head to decorate it, okay, on our head to decorate it, that is a headgear, was also worn. Both women and men wore ornaments made of gold, silver and precious stones. So both Male and female were using ornaments. Religion. The Aryans believed in one supreme power, that is, the creator of the universe. So they were believing there is only one supreme power, and that is the creator of the whole universe. They worship different forces of nature as gods and goddesses. Okay, so they were worshipping natural forces like Indra, the god of rain and thunder. Okay, Agni, the god of fire, and they used to believe that uh, the Agni carried messages to the heaven in the form of smoke. Okay, Surya, the sun god, Varuna, or we say Varun, okay, the god of water, Vayu, the god of wind, Soma, the god of plants, Prithvi, the goddesses of the earth, Usha, the goddesses of dawn. Dawn means morning. Okay, and Yama, the god of death. So all these gods and goddesses were supposed to be believed forms of one supreme being. That is, they were believing in one supreme power, and it is having different kind of forms, and it is to appear to them in a way of natural forces. Okay. The early Vedic period did not build temples or idols. They worshipped gods in open air. Why in open air? Because they used to feel that it is a natural force, right? So they used to worship in the open air. By chanting, means saying, by chanting hymns and making offerings. Okay, what they used to offer to the natural forces at that time? Grain, ghee, and milk. The yagnas. What are the yagnas? You can see in the picture it is given, right? 4 of the Brahmanas are sitting around and they are chanting the hymns and they are doing the ritual. So this is yogya, or we say it yagnas. Okay, the yagnas were performed by the Brahmanas. The entire family took part in yagnas, and other religious ceremony. So women were not kept aside, right? Everybody was taking part. Class system. The Aryans grouped themselves according to their skill in performing certain jobs. So according to their job, they used to categorize themselves into 4 groups. Okay, it was according to the job. This eventually led to development of 4 classes or varnas in the Arya society. First is Brahmanas, the educated priests and scholars who performed religious rituals and taught the common people. Okay, Kayastyas. Kayastyas were the warriors, the military, those who used to fight and protect their tribes. Vaishnas were the farmers, traders, craft person, those who used to cultivate, make different kind of goods and sell in the market. Sudras. Sudras were the laborers, okay, like the sweepers or many other work they used to do. Actually, they used to serve the other 3 groups. Okay. The occupation based division of society. Okay, this was occupation based division of society, was very flexible. Why it is called flexible? Maybe in a family of Brahman, the child wants to become a warrior, child wants to become a part of a military force, so he used to become a kayasta. Maybe the father is Brahman and the son is the kayasta. Okay, or maybe the son of a Brahman is choosing to become a businessman, right? Then he'll become a Vaishnava. So you can say that it is very flexible. This class does not mean, in the early Vedic period, it does not mean that you are born with it and you are fixed. You cannot change it. This happened in later Vedic period. In later Vedic period, this system of class became very you can say rigid, became very rigid, And this caste, once you are born, so you have to be in that caste only. You cannot change. The son of a Brahman will become a Brahman. Okay, that became in the later Vedic period. But in the early, this is just, they were grouping themselves. They're just grouping themselves according to their work. What kind of economic life they were having? At first, the Aryans were nomadic people. You know what is the meaning of nomadic people, right? The people, those who move from one place to another in search of food and shelter. They do not settle down in a place. Those were the nomadic people. So at the first, the Aryans were the nomadic people in India, who often moved from place to place. Later, they began to lead a settled life. The cow was considered very valuable and was a mark of wealth. The king gifted cows to priests. The early Vedic period, people seem to have known about agriculture. Okay, they were well aware about the agriculture. They made plows, with the wood, and they started cultivating lands. And in the Rig Veda, we can find that the chariot making, then the farmers, about the artisans, about the craftsmen, about the leather works, about the potterers, about the metal workers, those who used to work with copper and bronze. All these were also found in that time. The villages were self-sufficient during that period. Self-sufficient means whatever people wanted was available in the village. This is called self-sufficiency. Hopefully you understood the chapter. Thank you.